Like a man is down on the field after the last play, so we'll take a timeout. Buckeyes will line up to boot it away. Already punted 5 times now today. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And he'll be forced out of bounds after a small pickup on that return. And the Hurricanes offense retakes the field. They take the field with serious momentum. They have been tough to stop so far. Can they keep it going? And it's incomplete. The defender arrived at the same time as the football. And now it's second down. A pop pass on the jet sweep. Crosses the 35. Tackle made after a big gain.
The defense has got to do a much better job here of adjusting to the pre-snap motion. They just kind of stayed in place, and it gave the receiver plenty of room there to make a nice play.
The offense really clicking here. On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. That's the running back who makes the catch across the middle.
That's what I love about this guy. He has the ability to sneak out of the backfield. The quarterback's able to find him open, checks it down for a nice gain.
Running back with the football. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. 3rd down play for this offense. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Quarterback finds a target on the right. It's complete. And he's brought down just short of the marker on that play. Good job by the defense to prevent the 1st down. And that one's straight down the middle. And they add to their lead. So after building this big lead, they're set to kick it off. Doesn't bring the kick out. Touchback. They'll start at the 25. And the first play of the drive now from the 25. On 1st down, it's play action. Gets rid of it on the move. And he dumps it off to the tight end. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play. 2nd down play coming up. They're moving the receiver now before the snap. Grab behind the line. It's Miller. You'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. It's a ball at the 30. This is a manageable 3rd down play for the offense. Pass complete in the crosser. He stopped out at the 42. That's a solid gain, getting closer to midfield. The Buckeyes starting a new series here on 1st and 10. Looking to chuck it again. Finds his man. It's Miller. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain. It's the 2-minute timeout. This offense running out of time to cut into this lead before the break. The offense finally producing here. Sets up a 1st and 10. Looking for a receiver. Lets it fly to the wideout. Makes the catch downfield. Tackle made after a big gain. Ball moves to the 21. The guys up front lined up. It's 1st down. There's some pre-snap movement in the backfield. 1st down. Looking to throw the football. The tight end has got it. Oh, and he heads out of bounds after a real nice gain there. Now a chance to cut into this lead before halftime. It's 1st and goal. And they'll run it out of the shotgun. That's a nice tackle there by the senior. And now the timeout is called by the defense. They've got some things to work out here. We'll see if the offense can punch it in on 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, he's probing the secondary. Oh, and he can't hang on. Wow, would have been a touchdown. Got to shake that off now. It's 3rd down coming up. 3rd and goal. Looking to throw for it. Looking to the end zone. Oh, and he dropped it. The would-be touchdown could not come up with the football. Now it's 4th down. So the decision is to not go for it, but settle for 3. Here comes the field goal team. The field goal is good.
And that one, my gosh, I mean, it's almost too easy. Nice kick.
So after coming away with 3 in that drive, the kickoff team is out. He's going to return it from near the goal line. The Be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. And the first play of the drive now coming up from the 17-yard line. Handoff here from the shotgun. Breaks off the defender. Tough running to avoid a loss, and just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. What's the play call here on second down for this offense? There's the snap, and he's looking to throw. Grab down the middle. It's Flanagan. Scored down quickly as short gain gets them a few yards closer to the marker. Out of the shotgun, he hands it off. They make the tackle as time expires. That'll do it for the first half. And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
Guys, who's had a better seat there in Columbus for an entertaining first half than you? And talk about a first half for the dude in that backfield. That coaching staff has been giving rave reviews on a weekly basis. And through 2 quarters today, he's been a complete game changer. He's breaking the will of this defense, and that's something that's just very tough to quantify. That said, let's get back to the field and our guys in the booth to start the second half.
The Hurricanes will kick this deep to begin the second half. And he'll just take a knee. Drive will start at the 25-yard line. And the first play of the drive now from the 25. We get the second half started with a running play. It's a 2-yard gain. Second and 8 coming up. Offense comes up second and 8. That running game not producing much on the first down play. From the shotgun, it's a handoff. Tough running there, but not quite enough for a first down. Third down. The offense desperately needs a conversion here, trailing in the third quarter. Out of the gun now on third down. Can't hold on. Good defensive play brings up a fourth down. The Buckeyes will have to kick this away. Forced to kick it away for the 6th time. And the returner decides to signal fair catch. And here comes the Miami offense back out onto the field. He keeps it. QB draw. Got the first down and still lowering. And the defense comes up with the football.
Oh, what a play by this defense. Trailing in the second half. Really, the only way you can get back into this game is create turnovers. Ball's on the ground, they pounce on it, and they get the ball back to their own offense.
Offense makes its way on the field to get the drive started. On 1st and 10, they'll look to throw it. Snags a quick throw. They bring him down after a short gain there. High completion makes it second and medium. Catch made on the left side. And he's tackled, but only out of picking up a first down. Buckeyes are going to cash in this red zone trip. It's a quarterback keeper. Nowhere to run up the middle. Second down after that previous play. And he drops back in the gun. Breaks free. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. He's tackled, but down at the 9-yard line. Defense getting pushed around. Keep it on the ground on 1st and goal. Great cut. They whiff on him. Got to showcase his spin move, but dropped quickly after just a short gain. Second down and goal. And the quarterback dropping back. Grab behind the line. It's King. Great job by the defense so far. It's 3rd and goal from a long way out. There's the snap. They'll set up to throw. Running back grabs it on a screen. Play never had a chance. Defense grabs him for a loss. So on 4th down, the decision is to trot out the field goal team. The kick is good. He knocked it right down the middle.
Well, they almost put a touchdown on the board, but instead they come away with 3 points.
They come away with 3 points on the drive. kickoff team will boot it away. And he's going to bring this out from a couple of yards into the end zone. He's tackled at the 17, so it would have been better to leave it in the end zone for a touchback. And the first play of the drive now coming up from the 17-yard line. Play action here on first down. Fires it to the wideout. Caught! He's wide open. Look out! They bring him down, but a big chunk of yardage on the play. Fakes the handoff here, looking to throw it. That one falls incomplete. Good defensive play. Brings up second down. The incompletion makes it 2nd and 10 from the 38. And the back now goes in motion. Looking to pass here on second down. This time it's complete. Tackled quickly after the catch. He'll be short of the mark. Challenging play for the offense. They face 3rd and long here from their own 43. That ball snagged for a completion. That play enough for a first down. The offense set up at the 43. The Hurricanes pick up enough yards to move the sticks. Looking to throw it again. It's a quick grab. Running through the tackle. And he heads out of bounds after gaining a few yards. Pass caught. Second down now. And the quarterback looking to make a play through the air. And now the ball comes out. A disastrous play from the start. Looks like the defense has it for a takeaway.
This offense just blew an opportunity. Have a nice lead here in the second half with the football. The last thing you want to do is turn it over, and they put the ball on the ground and now give your opponent a chance to get right back in this game.
So here comes the first play of this drive. They're set up at their own 48. Back goes in motion now. Let's see how the defense adjusts. They flip it to him on the jet sweep. And he goes nowhere. Stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 3 in that play. So now it's 2nd down and 13. Important play coming up. And the quarterback keeps it here. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. 3rd down. This offense could really use a conversion here, down multiple scores. It's an RPO. The quarterback gets it out quickly. The reception nets him at 7 yards, but 4th down coming up here. The Buckeyes will have to kick it away. Son to kick it away, helping his team with field position. Kick goes out of bounds. They'll spot the ball near the 20-yard line. And the Miami offense is back on the field. They moved it well last time. Got across the 50, but then fumbled the football away. Pitches to the back. He'll be stopped for a loss on the play. The defense all over the option that time. Quarterback looking to pass here on 2nd down. Lucky for the junior quarterback that didn't get picked off. So a tricky situation here. 3rd and very long inside your own 20. How much of a risk do you take? You know this defense could be very aggressive at this moment. There's a screen pass to the running back. They make the stop just short of the marker. It's getting 4th down and inches. The Canes will send the punt team onto the field. And he'll kick it away now for the 2nd time. And he's going to get run out of bounds after a small pickup on the return. And the first play of the drive now from the 25. And the ball is handed off out of the shotgun. The defense all over it. They stop him right at the line. So the running play stopped on 1st down. Brings up 2nd and 10 from their 25. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. We come to the line. A long way to go for the 1st down, but needing this crucial conversion right now. Incomplete. As good as he threw the ball, that's a big 3rd down defensive play. The Buckeyes will line up to punt it away. Looking to flip the field here. And the return man decides to signal fair catch. And the Hurricanes offense retakes the field. Forced to punt last time. Trying to add points, build the lead right here. Quarterback will throw it off the run-pass option. He's brought down after a short gain. It's not going to be 1st down yardage. Quarterback still with the football. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Crucial third down play right here. Dropping back. They're going to throw for the first down. The sure hands. It's Flanagan. They make the stop just short of the marker. It's going to be 4th down and inches to go. And the Canes will bring their punt team onto the field. This will be fair caught back at the 10-yard line. Here's the first play of the drive now. They begin from their own 11. And looking to throw now on first down. Finds a receiver in the middle of the field. Tackle made after a solid gain. They'll spot the ball for 31. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Physical defending. That one falls incomplete. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 31 after the incompletion. And on the carry, he's heading left. Jukes to get free. Tackle's made, but not before he makes the 43-yard line. This drive is going now. And the player is down injured after that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check him out. Buckeyes with 1st and 10 here. Quarterback sets up, looking for an open man. Caught by the receiver. Tough running that breaks a tackle, picks up the first down. Tackle made with the sophomore quarterback showing us the arm strength. Here comes a handoff. The gain is 2 yards, so it's 2nd and 8. Quarterback keeps the football. Fighting off the defender. He's taken down, but that's a nice gain. They'll spot the ball now at the 35. Offense set for the 6th play in this drive. Breaks free. They bring him down right at the 20. This offense set up now in the red zone. First down here for this offense. And so far, we have been treated to a serious quarterback duel. Both these guys putting on a show so far. Quarter to play. It's going to take a lot to turn this game around, but strange things do happen in college football. Back at it to start the quarter. Offense getting set to run a first down play. Swarmed by the pass rush. The sack.
Chris, I'm really surprised by the way this game has turned out. That's another sack by this defense. They've done such a great job of preparing a plan to get ready for one of the top quarterbacks in the country. They've kept him out of sync, applied pressure, and a big part of the reason they're enjoying this lead right now.
2nd down now after the sack. From the shotgun, drops back looking for an open man. Pass ball is incomplete. There was a lot of contact. No penalty. Brings up 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He cannot escape. It's a sack.
I'll tell you what, Chris, I didn't expect this. This quarterback is outstanding, but they have pressured him all game long, and they got to him again.
So on 4th down now, out comes the field goal unit. This will be a long-range attempt, 51 yards out. He made it. 3 points on the board. Following the field goal, the kickoff team is out there now. And he'll bring it out from inside the 10. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. Offense out there for the first play of this drive from the 18. First down, looking to throw the ball. And it's incomplete on a very quick throw. So second down after the incompletion. Makes the catch. It's Flanagan. It's a nice wrap-up there by the junior. Offense needing to keep this drive alive. It's a third down play. Drop him back. Looking to throw for the first down. That one is incomplete. The defender was right there, and it brings up fourth down now. The Canes will line up to kick it away. Back out to punt for the fourth time today. Touchdown, Buckeyes. 6 points for the special teams.
That's a great way to scratch your way back into this football game. Remember, it's 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. Often an overlooked aspect in the game, and here we're reminded of how important it is. Great job. Home crowd back into it after that big return by the special teams unit.
UHC is good, but still trail though. Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. Fields it just outside the goal line. To be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. And the first play of the drive now coming up from the 17-yard line. Gets it out quickly to the left side. What a spin move. He's in the clear now. They bring him down, but not before an explosive play through this offense through the air.
What a gain here. Big play for this offense. The quarterback and receiver just seem to be in sync. Tough on that corner to try to make a play on that ball.
Out of the shotgun, he'll hand it off. Great cut there. They pick up 4, so second down and 6 coming up. It's a keeper. They fall hard there. Broken tackle, but brought down short of the sticks. It's third down for the offense. Out of the gun now on third down. It's a short completion to the big tight end. And we're able to move the sticks. Set up now, first down at the 34. The Hurricanes are moving quickly down the field. Caught in the backfield. It's Hodges.
Chris, that's another nice pickup through the air. I thought they might be really just out to run the football here with the lead. But instead, they're electing to throw the football. Different routes, quarterbacks in rhythm. Really, it's almost an extension of their passing game.
Keep it on the ground. There's the handoff. They test the middle of the defense, but get nothing. So the offense faces third and short in the plus 26. Might be 4-down territory. But let's see what the call is here. Now here's the toss play. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. So on fourth down, here comes a crucial field goal attempt. And he's got it from 47 yards away, showing off the deep range. So after the field goal, the kicker out there again to boot it away. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. Here's the first play of the drive now to begin at the 19. Here comes a first down pass attempt. Oh, they trap him for a sack.
And just like that, you squeeze the life out of this offense. That's another sack by this defense. They have been in that backfield the entire game, and a big reason why these guys are enjoying a lead.
On the 12-yard line, it's second and long now. Offense looking to throw the ball. Trapped again in the pocket.
Well, that that takes the wind right out of your sails. This offense is trying to find a way to get back into this game, and another pressure and a sack against their quarterback.
Here comes 3rd and long. Trailing in the game. Giving up that sack earlier could prove to be decisive. One man to the backfield, and he'll get the football. And the play goes nowhere. Picked up about a yard, but it'll be 4th down. The Buckeyes will send their punt team onto the field. This one ends up a safety.
Wow, that was ugly, and especially the timing of this. Now in the 4th quarter, you're trying to get back into this game, and you give up a safety. Now, there's still some time left, but you've really killed any momentum at all trying to get back into the game.
So after the safety, it's now a free kick coming up. They'll punt it away from the 20.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Pretty easy call for the head coach. He will accept that penalty, of course. And they'll run it out of the shotgun. Nice run. He's brought down to the 44. Looks like a player is down injured at that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check it out. The game makes it 2nd and medium. There's the snap. Looking to throw the ball. The junior quarterback fortunate to avoid the turnover there. What will the call be on 3rd and long now from the 44? Dropping back. Looking to throw for the 1st down. Makes the catch. And they do pick up 1st down yardage. Set up now at the 44. The Hurricanes begin a new series here. 1st and 10. That's caught. It's Flanagan. They stopped the receiver, but that's a solid gain on that play. Getting set. Here's 2nd down. They're going to run it. That gets the carry. There's the tackle, but 1st down yardage. A running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. He finds some space. Looks like a man is down in the field after the last play, so we'll take a timeout. Offense getting set. It's 2nd down. Keeping it on the ground here. Good enough for 1st down yardage. And a player is down injured after that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check him out. The Canes are in the red zone. They'll hand it off. They'll run it up the middle, but get nothing. 2nd down after that run on the previous play. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Makes a quick catch. And the defense swarms not much of a gain on that completion. And the crowd coming to life here trying to help this defense down in the red zone. Makes the catch. Can he get in? Stopped right there, but it's 1st and goal at the 5. And the Canes looking to punch it in here. It's 1st and goal. Here's a handoff on 1st and goal. Touchdown, Canes. This offense is still clicking.
Boy, this defense just getting manhandled at the line of scrimmage. They just loaded up in that goal line formation and pushed their way into the end zone.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT. And the extra point makes the lead 20 here in the 4th quarter. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. So no return here. He takes him in the end zone, and they'll begin the drive at the 25. And the first play of the drive now from the 25. Looking to throw it on 1st down. Pass rush gets home.
What a day for this defense, just living in the backfield of the offense. The game looks like it's all but over at this point, and for them to disrupt this great quarterback all day has been quite an accomplishment.
So from the 18-yard line, it's 2nd and long. Looking for a man. Bringing pressure. Just standing there, gets hit again.
Man, this pass rush has gotten home so many times. As an offense, I know you're down, but you gotta try to mix it up. Maybe roll the quarterback out. Have your backs and tight ends chip at the line. Anything they can do, because what they've done up to this point, it's just not working.
Here they come on 3rd and long, trying to overcome that sack they gave up earlier. Now in 3rd and very long, looking to throw. Oh, they get him again. The offense stays on the field, down multiple possessions. Easy choice. And he's throwing for it on 4th down. Looking deep down the right side. It's incomplete. The defense makes a big 4th down stop. So the unusual 4th down decision has given this offense a golden chance here. 1st and goal as they start the drive. Caught quickly. Tackled at the 2 after the completion. The defense really up against it now. Looks like a player is down injured at that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check it out. 2nd and goal for the offense. Looking to score, they'll run it to the right side. They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4. Offense moving backwards here, a long way from the goal line now. Keeps it on the draw. And we're able to get him down.
What a stop by this defense here on 3rd down and goal. They've been put in a very tough situation, and 3 straight plays they've stepped up. Now, a big decision for the head coach for the offense.
Touchdown, Hurricanes. And the route is on.
This is called having confidence in an offensive line and a running back. 4th down and goal, you pound it in for the touchdown.
Lining up to try the extra point. And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead. They got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. And so it'll be a touchback. Ball spotted at the 25. And the first play of the drive now from the 25. On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. Quick completion to the tight end.
That's a good job here, staying ahead of the chains. Good pickup here on 1st down. The quarterback hits the safety valve that time. The big tight end. That'll bring up a 2nd and manageable here for this offense.
Handoff here from the shotgun. Look out, room to run here. And he steps out of bounds, but a solid gain there on the ground. Great start to the drive. Back-to-back explosive plays, and now another 1st down. Off an RPO, the quarterback looks to his right. But the play loses yardage. Very tough 2nd down coming up now. Offense behind the sticks, facing a 2nd and long. Looking for a man deep down the middle. And it's picked off. He throws it right into double coverage and pays for it. Not much on the return, but the important thing, the takeaway, snuffs out the scoring threat. Big play.
I just don't think there's anything else you can do as a play caller. You've got to be able to throw the ball downfield. You just got to hope that your quarterback and receivers can execute when the defense knows it's coming. Here, the interception cost them.
Here's the first play of the drive now, backed up at the 15. QB decides to keep it here. Bites off a defender. They'll tackle him right at the 25-yard line. Here's the 2nd down play. Caught behind the line. It's Flanagan. They bring him down, but that is a crucial 1st down. They could just run out the clock in victory formation now. Well, this was a stunner. It's going to resonate around the college football landscape, Kirk. This lower-ranked team came in here and said, give us some respect. And they went out and earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a bit of a shocker to me, just to be able to see this team get run all over the field the entire game. Just didn't show up. I don't know what happened during the week with the preparation, but this blowout, I think, surprised a lot of people around the country.
And that's going to wrap it up. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.